there's my dad waving.
Now, one of the downsides of a Tesla, of course, is that it doesn't have
sandwiches. Push the flap, put some dead dinosaurs in the fuel filler, close it up, and you're good to go.
Hi guys, Teslas are of course known for three different things. Number one, they're all electric. Number two is autopilot, and we'll be doing a video on that a little later in the series. And number three, of course, is technology. And in this video, we're going to find out if this car's technology is ahead of its time by comparing it to two other cars at two very different price points. Tommy, show them what we're comparing this Tesla to.
I think in 20 years, everybody's going to be driving an electric car.
Come on! 90, 100, 200, 200 miles per hour. The fart mode is pretty fun to play with when you have passengers. The base end of our comparison today is the Hyundai Kona. It costs about $30,000. Then of course is our Tesla Thrifty 3. Our Model 3 costs about $50,000. And the most expensive car today is the BMW X5. This one's about $70,000.
So let's start with how you start the car. With the Kona, of course, you have a traditional key that you use in a traditional way by clicking the button and then getting in the car and starting it. In the BMW, very similar thing, but take these, Tommy. In the Tesla, all you need is this. Come on with me, let me show you. With the Tesla app in my phone, all I do is open the handle, get in the car, no starter button, put it in drive, and drive off. Now, of course, you can do a lot of those features using an app for both the BMW and the Kona, but in the Tesla, it is truly seamless.
All three of these cars have smart-enabled apps that allow you to control various functions in the vehicle. Now, on the Kona, their system is called Hyundai Blue Link, and it allows you to do stuff such as lock, unlock, start the car remotely. You can adjust some of the climate controls inside, flash the lights, and it's a pretty in-depth system. You can even schedule service. Now, of course, the Tesla does much of the same stuff. However, in the Tesla app, you can also use it exclusively to drive the car. Now, the BMW system is called BMW Connected Drive, and once again, it allows you to do climate control and the like. They also have a really cool system in the BMW that, just like the Tesla, will allow you to use your phone as the key, but it's not quite as seamless.
The Tesla has in fact done away with any key at all. All you get is the app. The closest you get to the key is this little and that little credit card, which lets you start and unlock the car. Now, I don't even use these credit cards because everything is so seamlessly integrated into the app that just by opening up this door, the Tesla has already turned on the climate control, put the seats in my desired position, put on my radio station. Basically, I'm ready to go, and I don't even have to push a button to start it. I just put it in drive and go. So this video is all about taking technology to the next level. So why don't you show them how you fill up the Kona if we were at a gas station?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. I, of course, have a proximity key with the Kona. So I come up to the door, there's a little black button, it unlocks, and then there's a lever in here. Pull the lever, flap is open, and we're good to fuel up.
No, you're not. You're not good to fuel up.
No, you just got, okay, wow, one step. Now we're good to fuel up. Alright, not to be outdone, the BMW does have a few party tricks up its sleeve. First of all, it will unlock automatically as long as you get close to the car and lock when you walk away. And as long as it's unlocked like it is now, push the flap, put some dead dinosaurs in the fuel filler, close it up, and you're good to go.
So Tommy, to charge up the Tesla, all I do is boot up the app, click open charge port, and plug it in. That simple. And then when I'm done, close charge port. In fact, I don't even have to close it. Once I put the car in gear, it'll close on its own.
Here we are in the Kona. Let's see how big this infotainment screen is. It's about 8 inches diagonally, which is pretty decent. Now, the interior layout on this Kona is very usable, if not really all that stylish, but you got steering wheel controls here for volume and phone, your cruise control is over here, then you've got basic climate control dials, that all works. Automatic climate control, it's worth noting. Your heated seat controls are down here in the middle. Light controls, wiper controls, it's all super easy to use.
And super traditional. The one cool thing about the Kona though, Tom, you started up show them the heads-up display. For a $30,000 car, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so let me pop it up here. That's kind of your most basic form of heads-up display. There's actually a word for this. It's like combiner. Some funny word, but it just pops up and then you've got your speed and all your vitals right in front of you. Welcome to the BMW X5. Now we actually have a couple of really cool configurable screens. You obviously have the main infotainment screen here, but the entire cluster is digital as well. So let's see how big the main infotainment screen is. It's about 12 inches diagonally, which is pretty good, but it's also pretty flat, so kind of long and horizontal. Now the interior on the BMW is, well, it's really, really nice. It's still fairly traditional in that you have a row of buttons down the middle here for your presets. You have a volume knob, you know, you have pretty standard vents here and climate controls. But it's really elegant, and it's a cool mixture of both, turn that off, of both digital and yet analog controls.
Tesla has completely rethought the driver/car user interface. It of course has the biggest screen of all three vehicles. It's about, about 15 to 16 inches when you measure it across. But what makes this unique is that this screen controls pretty much everything in the car. There's only a few controls on the steering wheel, these multi-function rotary controls that control things like radio volume or how you set your rearview mirrors. I've got my lights and I've got my wipers on this stock, and of course my reverse, neutral, drive, and park on this stock. Everything else, all right, with the exception of the window switches, is controlled through this screen. So if you like your smartphone, you're probably going to like the Tesla. If you're an old-fashioned analog kind of person, you're probably going to hate the Tesla because there isn't much of anything analog that's left in this vehicle.
Test number 1 in the Hyundai Kona is the camera test. Now we only have a backup camera. There's my dad waving, but we don't have a surround view or 360 camera in the Kona, so just one camera. First test in the BMW is the camera test. So put it in reverse. Check it out. We have a backup camera, but we also have a 360-degree camera, which is really pretty cool. You can see my dad's walking around here. So there's our rear camera. I can even do like a virtual cockpit sort of thing here, so I can look all around the car using these side cameras, which really is just one of the coolest things I've seen in a while. So you can see with your virtual car if you're about to hit something. Let's see, there's the rear. So all in all, it's a really cool system. A lot of cameras, a lot of tech.
The Tesla Model 3 has 8 surround cameras. In fact, there are, I think, 3 facing forward, but it only has one backup camera, so when you put it in reverse, you can see whatever's back there, but you cannot see what's ahead of you or what's next to you, at least not in this kind of 360-degree mode. Why it doesn't give you 360 degrees, I don't know, but the only camera right now is the reverse. Thanks, Tommy!
Test number 2 is our voice command test. We're going to use the internal voice command system to navigate to our sandwich shop. So I have to push a button on the Kona.
Please say a command.
Navigate to Snarf's Sandwiches.
19 results found. Please say the line number.
1.
You will be guided to the first destination on the list.
Calculating, avoid
Please
HOV.
proceed to the highlighted route, then the route guidance will start.
The Kona did it with no problem. We're on our way to Snarf Sandwiches. It's time for voice command in the BMW. Now, I don't actually have to push a button. I just simply say, hey BMW. Hey BMW.
Hello. What can I help you with?
Navigate to Snarf's Sandwiches.
Which one of these destinations should I select?
Number 1.
Perfect. Our next destination is Snarf Sandwiches.
And there you go. It plugged it right into the navigation.
Tommy, thanks for coming in here and helping us with navigation, because there's something very specific that you have to say, right?
Well, I said the same thing in both other cars, so
Yeah.
I'm going to do the same thing in this one.
I think you hold down both, right, for it to...
Nope.
No, which one?
Nope, it's
One-
none of them.
No, there's a way to do it.
There you
like
go.
that. I told you, hold down both.
Okay, cancel. Cancel.
Cancel. Cancel. Stop, Tesla, stop. Go away. All right, try again.
Navigate to Snarf's Sandwiches. A. Oh yeah, it did it.
Yeah, that was pretty easy. Look at that. Found snarfs right away. And look how close we are.
Test number 3 is wireless charging. Is there a pad in the vehicle to charge up your phone wirelessly? Now in the Kona, there is. I do have a big iPhone 8 Plus. It's a pretty large device. Sometimes they don't fit. Let's see if it fits in the Kona. There we go. It's charging, no problem, and good access as well. Wireless charging in the BMW. Now the X5 does have it in this particular trim. It's actually a little bit hidden though in this funky compartment. I have a big phone. Let's see if it fits. Yep, there it goes. You get the blue light, so we should be charging, which we are. So wireless charging in the BMW works, but it is really, really hidden.
Now, one of the downsides of a Tesla, of course, is that it doesn't have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, but it does have, interestingly, 2 charging ports. It's not wireless, but there's one for the Apple right here, and then there's one for your Android device right there. So if you are a Android/Apple family, you can charge both, and the Tesla actually has the little connectors for both. You can also buy actually a wireless charging mat that you could place here as an aftermarket accessory. Why Tesla doesn't include that, I don't know. They should.
Next test is the USB port test. How many USB ports or USB-C devices can we plug in to this Kona? Now we have one obvious one here with an auxiliary port. We have a 12-volt socket, but underneath this little cover, we actually have a specific charge port for USBs. So we really have 2 USB ports. How about the back seat? Nope, looks like none in the back seat. Time for the USB search in the X5. Now the first one is hidden right down here in the cubby, standard USB port you can see there. We have another one in the front seat in this center armrest here. It's actually a USB-C, so some fast charging through there. We actually have a couple in the back seat, one in the back of both the driver and the passenger seat.
In terms of USB, here's something interesting and I think sort of clever. Now, those 2 dongles that plug into an Android or iPhone are actually connected back here via 2 USB connectors that are plugged in here. So in the front, you've got 2 USB connectors. And Tommy, what's the scoop in the back?
Yeah, 2 more in the back, so 4 in total, but no USB-Cs.
Yeah, so that's odd, you know, because we do have 4 USBs, which I think is probably the bare minimum, but no USB-C. That's an omission, I think, in a modern car that should be very technologically advanced. It feels like, 1.0, not 2.0.
Alright, the next test is the heads-up display. This, of course, is a display that allows you to see what's in front of you and look at your speed and other vital information at the same time. Now in this Kona, here it comes. It's a heads-up display, but it doesn't project on the windshield directly. It actually projects onto a little panel that lifts up right in front of you. Next up in the Beamer is the heads-up display. This one is pretty advanced. I have my speed, the speed limit, and I can even display some other info like navigation or RPM. So good heads-up display, and it projects right onto the windshield. All right, the next test is the Apple CarPlay test. So I have my Apple phone here, plug it in. Reading USB, the screen says, and then Apple CarPlay. Bam, there you have it. Check that out. So Apple CarPlay. Now let's unplug it here and see if we also have Android Auto. So setup, phone projection, there we go. Android Auto as well as Apple CarPlay. We have both in the Hyundai. X5, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto test. Now I do have Apple CarPlay hooked up in this car, and you can see no cable. So it uses the phone to connect to the car wirelessly, and you can use Apple CarPlay without a cable. However, there is a bit of a shortcoming here. There is actually no Android Auto in the BMW.
Tesla doesn't play nice with Apple or Google, at least not in terms of having Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So what it has is a streaming service called Slacker, which allows you, like Pandora, to pick your favorite genre. In this case, I've got classic rock, deep house, comedy, news, the usual stuff that a man of my age and wisdom would have, right, Tommy? And I can select the kind of music I want to play, and then it streams it just like Pandora. I can thumb it up, I can thumb it down, I can skip to the next one. It actually works really well.
Next test is the radio test. What kind of radio options do we have in this Kona? Click radio up here, Okay, first of all, satellite XM radio, which is good. I can also change the band, FM.
It burned the night before.
We have AM as well. Yep, AM as well, so full FM, AM, satellite XM radio in the Kona. Time to check out the radio system here in the BMW. We have Sirius XM radio, which is pretty standard. We also have FM radio, and lastly, AM radio. So we have all three of the radios in this X5.
AM radio is verboten for some reason. There is no AM, but I do have FM radio just like you would in any other car, and I can directly tune it, or I can do my presets. I can also, of course, stream things directly from my phone, yeah, it's actually not bad. It works pretty well, and I like Slacker. I probably prefer Pandora because I already got a playlist, so I have to create a whole new playlist for Slacker, but in general it works pretty well, and it's got everything that you would want. I could of course create an account, but you know how that is. That's another account that I have to create on another online service for another fee, I'm sure.
In this Kona, it doesn't look like we have a Wi-Fi connection, so no in-car Wi-Fi, but that's kind of to be expected at 30K. All right, BMW here, let's do our Wi-Fi test. I'm gonna go into my settings, pull up Wi-Fi.
Hello. What can I help you with?
Nothing. You cannot help me with anything right now. Cancel.
Cancel.
The issue is when the car is already always listening to you, and you say the words BMW, sometimes it pops up. But you can see there, we have our Wi-Fi in our BMW, so we do have a Wi-Fi system. Now, what about over-the-air updates? This is a thing that Tesla's very proud of, but I actually have it here in the BMW as well. So let me go to settings. Where is it at here? Key button settings. It's in I think general settings. Let's scroll down here to remote software update. It says installed version, and I can search for updates, so it's a little bit more intensive than the Tesla, but let's see if it'll show an update that'll pop up so we can get this thing up to maximum snuff in terms of tech and cool things. There you go. Your system is up to date, so we're good to go in the BMW. It is a remote software upgrade, kind of like the Tesla, but not nearly as advanced.
One of the cool party tricks that the Tesla brings, of course, is the fact that it has its own connectivity to the internet, and so I can actually bring up a browser, and then I can type in my favorite website. You know what that is, Tommy, don't you? There we go. Look at that. And I could go right to TFL Car while I'm parked here. Now, the other thing I can do is I can actually go to TFL Car while I'm driving, and I don't endorse anybody actually going online and using the internet while you're driving, but if you have a passenger, they can actually go online and use the internet while you're driving. There's no other car manufacturer that allows that for obvious reasons, because it's very distracting if the driver were to do that, but the passenger, well, that's a whole other story.
Next up is our heated seat test. We have both front driver and passenger heated seats in this particular Kona. No heated steering wheel and no heated rear seats. In this BMW, we have heated seats, but it goes a little bit further than that. So if I turn on the driver's side heated seat, it'll not only heat the seats, but it'll also heat the center armrest here, so my arm stays warm on the right side, and even the armrest here on the left side. So it's really an immersive heating experience for your full body. I also, of course, have a heated steering wheel here in the middle. So if you want to stay hot in a BMW, you certainly can. Now, I don't believe that this one has the rear heated seats, although it is an option.
The thing about electric cars, it's always about using the least amount of energy possible. And of course, climate control takes a lot of energy. So Tesla has thought of that, and they've done that by giving you not one, not two, but actually 5 heated seats. And I can control them from the screen. They're called little bacon strips, and I can actually turn them on and off from here. So right now I've got all my heated seats on in the back. And Tommy, why don't you turn your heated seat off?
Yeah, I can't do it from back here.
You can't do it from back there?
No, there's no switch. You have to do it from up there.
So you have to ask the driver or passenger to turn it off?
Yeah, or you could push all off too, bottom left.
Yeah, that would make for a really fun time if you didn't like the people in the back seat in the middle of summer. All right, we've come to the portion of the video where we need a measuring device.
In the Kona, pretty impressive. It has a sunroof at all, actually, for 30 grand. But it's about, let's see here.
Oh, I'll help you here.
35 inches diagonally.
Okay.
And then, let's do the BMW. This has a big one.
Yeah, for 70K, you get both the front and rear occupants get a sunroof.
About 60 inches.
Okay. And let's face it, you don't have to measure the Tesla because, well, the entire roof is a sunroof. Let me show you.
Okay, now I really want to know the measurements, so we're just going to do the glass portion that's on the roof. So, corner to about corner. Kind of tricky because the rear window actually starts like right here, which is where the second row is, but I'm just going to go to back here-ish. About 78. Now, it is worth noting though, Dad.
Yeah.
How do you open this?
You don't.
You can't.
And how do you make it darker?
You can't.
You can. So there's a lot of solar energy that's coming in. It is tinted, but nevertheless, there's no way to...
Close it completely.
Yeah, there's no way. Tesla just patented an ability to make this less transparent, just like a Mercedes, but for right now, the entire roof is glass, but there's no way to open it or to, well, make it less glassy.
On the Hyundai Kona, there's a door handle that you grab and then you close. It's worked for the last 70 years. It'll work for the Kona. The BMW also has the proven door handle. You open it, but this time, if you forget to close it all the way, the BMW will suck it in with the soft close feature.
Now, both the Kona and the BMW have little switches, little areas on the door handle where you grab, and if you've got the key, it'll unlock.
Sorta.
It's got the button.
Yeah,
This has a little...
but the BMW will do it if you're close to it.
Right, but this one still has the traditional little...
Yeah, if you want, you can still use the little...
Yeah. Tesla has completely even changed the way that the door works. Let me show you. Unlike the BMW, the Tesla does not unlock itself when you walk up next to it. And unlike the BMW and the Kona, there's no button on the door handle to actually open and unlock the vehicle. What there is a very clever mechanism where you push on the handle and pull on it, and that unlocks the car, pops down the window, and unfolds the rearview mirror. But there's more. Let me show you. When it's time to get out of the car, the Tesla doesn't have soft or open closed doors, but it does have electric doors. All you do is push a button on the door and it unlocks. Now you may be wondering, what happens if the car's out of battery? Are you locked in the car? No, you're not, because there's a secondary and hidden manual switch that lets you open the Tesla even if you don't have juice to unlock it. Let me show you.
This BMW has one other party trick called gesture control. Now it kind of can read your signals and your gestures here in the middle, so I can, for example, turn the radio up with just a finger. Isn't that cool? And turn it down the other way. It'll also do a bunch of other different commands depending on the gestures, but it's a really cool little fun party trick here in the X5.
Tommy, while you were busy in the BMW, I was busy sitting in here waiting for the Tesla to update itself, and in that same amount of time, I got a whole bunch of new features, or the Tesla gave itself a whole bunch of new features, so let's see what the updates are. So, supercharger improvements. Your car's now able to charge at 150 kilowatt rates at Tesla supercharger stations. That's good. High performance. Your car is now able to maintain torque and power for longer.
Your cow?
Your car, youngsters. Your car, that's good, right?
Yep.
You can now view details of your vehicle software by tapping the controls. Tesla Atari. Tesla Atari has been improved to make games even more fun to play. Wow.
Nice.
So now you can spend more time playing Asteroids and Centipede while the thing is charging. En route battery warm-up. Whenever you navigate to a supercharger station, your vehicle will intelligently heat up the battery to ensure you arrive at optimal temperature. Cool. And additional language support, web browser support, tire pressure monitoring, TPMS, and of course auto steer stoplight warning. You may warn you in some cases if it detects that you're about to run a red light while auto steer is in use. There we go. Cool. So look at that. And that cost absolutely that much. I think that's the way it's going to go for all vehicles at some point, because with the car updating itself, you feel like you're getting added value without having to spend extra money. And I know the old business model is that if you want to get that added value, you have to buy a new car, but this is pretty cool, Tommy.
Yeah, it is cool.
Speaking of automatic updates, a few updates ago, Tesla actually gave you two really cool features, and they're right here under safety and security, I believe. One of them is, of course, Sentry Mode, which you have to actually turn on every time, but basically what it does is it activates all the cameras and the sensors around the Tesla so that if somebody were to come and try to steal your Tesla, the screen would flash Sentry Mode and the cameras would activate and record the person who's either trying to either steal your car or potentially damage your car, and then record all that information. And there have been reports out online right now where the Tesla has actually caught people scratching it or trying to break into it. I think it's a response to the problem that Tesla had with that rear window breaking or being broken so that people can get into the trunk because there are no locks in the trunk. Now the other cool one is this one right here, which is, it's dog mode. So there's my dog mode right here. I'm going to turn it on and we'll see what it happens. It says climate and screen will stay on after leaving the car. Will turn off when battery reaches 20% mode. Dog mode is for pets only. Never leave a child unattended in the vehicle, even for a short time. Sentry mode will be disabled. So you can't have Sentry mode and dog mode on at the same time. Earlier in this video I said that almost everything in this vehicle is controlled by the center screen, and I mean almost everything, even the glove box. Tommy, have I made my point that Tesla has taken technology to the next level in the new automobile?
You know what? No, I don't think you have, because that $30,000 Kona will do just about everything the Tesla will do, and you don't have to take your eyes off the road to look at a screen to push a button.
Yeah, it certainly is much different having something that's not directly in front of you, but once you get used to that big screen and once you get used to all the controls, it's as intuitive as a smartphone. So I think that Tesla has taken that car to this level, and that to me is, well, the next level.
Your flashlight's on.
Yeah, how do you turn it off?
Well, if it was a Kona, there'd be a button.
Oh, wait, there's a oh, yeah. Well, that is a problem with technology. Yeah, there we go. That's the problem with technology. If you know it and you adapt easily to it, then it's wonderful. And if you're old like me, then... But you know, I like the new stuff and you like the old stuff. Go figure.
Yep, as always, I'm Tommy with the Fastlane Car. Go back to tflcar.com for more news, views,
and real world reviews. And don't forget to come back next week when we're going to do an interesting comparison. We're going to take that Tesla and we're going to compare it to a hybrid Prius all-wheel drive to see which one gets better fuel economy.
Yeah, it's a little confusing, but that's coming up next.